Coach, just your thoughts on the game tonight.
Well, I thought that the team showed a lot of heart and character as far as coming out in the second half. We didn't quite. I would say that they played their game in that first half, and we got down by a little bit. And when you're playing against good teams, getting down by that much at half is sometimes a bigger hole than you can dig yourself out of. But I thought the way that we came out and played in the second half was a real tribute to these kids and just the heart and the passion that they play the game with, because they went after it. What is there? There's 20 more minutes in the game, so just go for it, and that's what they did.
Okay. Now you came so close at the end. How do you think that reflects on your entire season of showed the spirit and other things?
I think so, because if you look at our record, most of our losses were some that were close that we came back from, and then we won some of those games that we came back from, and that's the one thing about this team. I mean, they've been in positions where they've been down and they just never give up. I mean, the heart and soul of them is they just never give up, and they're going to play to the buzzer, and I see that time in and time out. So, I really admire that about them, because I think that's a tribute that they'll take with them, as they leave Concordia, and that's something that's going to be a big part of who they are once they're out there in the world, and I think that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Coach, can you talk a little bit? Did they make you play maybe that first half, play a little faster than you wanted to? I know they turned you over quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Was that the case? And maybe rushing shots that maybe you wouldn't normally rush?
I think the pace of the game got a little bit faster than what, I mean, we usually like a transition game, but I think, the pace got a little bit faster than what we normally play. We had a little bit of success early on in the first half with keeping up with that kind of transition pace, and then missed a few shots, and they came down and converted, and I think that was at that point that we were trying to get them settled down and make sure that we get things set up and run some things offensively. And we did take some quick shots, and I think that was, part of the thing that we made the adjustment at halftime, and I thought we did a much better job in the second half.
Tricia, can you talk about, I thought you guys were having troubles on the glass the second half, and I thought you came in and brought a lot of energy, and you brought the rebounding and helped out on the boards. Is that something when you came into the game there in the second half that you were looking from what you're seeing on the bench?
Yeah, we always try to bring a spark off from the bench, and whether it be scoring or rebounding, I mean, you just kind of have to give it your all, and the coaches always tell you go to the glass, so that was kind of what I was focusing on when I went in, trying to get some boards.
Did it seem a little rough out there? More than you were accustomed to, because I noticed a couple of players had bloodied noses and stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough game, and I mean, we've played in physical games before, but it's nationals, it's do or die, so no one's gonna give up. So you just have to expect a more physical play and just go with what the game is.
Coach, offensive glass, their work on the offensive glass kind of hurt you guys. Were you surprised how well they were able to rebound offensively?
Well, typically I would say rebounding is a very strong point of ours, and some of the rebounds were a little bit longer. They took some big shots out there, or some 3-point shots, and it seemed like the rebounds were a little bit longer. And I think at a certain point, the pace of the game, especially in the first half, was kind of a whirlwind. So we weren't quite ready to hit the glass as they were shooting the shots. But I think in the second half we made an adjustment, and seemed like they, we did a little bit better. I know there was one possession they got a whole bunch of them. Had some block shots, and we weren't able to recover the block shot, and then they were able. And then at that point you get a little bit out of position defensively. But I think for the most part, it was kind of the tale of two halves for us. First half was okay. I thought the second half was tremendous, and really showed the guts that these kids have. I mean, they came back, and it could have been a 20-point game, but these kids were going to come in and work their tails off in that second half to make it a different game, and they definitely did.
Tricia, how did it feel to play in a tournament game now?
It was definitely exciting, and the coaches told us there'd be a lot more distractions. It's nationals, and just try to settle down and play it like it's a normal game. And I mean, we tried to do that, and we did, but it's obviously more exciting when it's a national tournament.
Mm-hmm. Coach, was this everything you expected the game to be? I mean, as far as, you know, were you figuring that there were holes within Simpson that you could attack, or?
Well, you know, we knew that actually I kind of view Simpson to be a very similar team to us as far as style of play, except we don't do as much pressing as they do. And so as I looked at the two teams, I thought, you know, it's kind of a mirror image. I think that both teams have some good shooters. We've got a good inside presence. Both teams are quick defensively. And so we really felt like it was going to be one of those games that would be back and forth, and that we were going to need to make a push at the end of the game in order to figure out a way to win. Well, we had to make a big push kind of throughout the second half because we were down by 12 at halftime. And so, you know, the game wasn't quite what I expected, but I thought that our kids really found a way to make some things happen. We talked about in the second half finding a way to get some easier baskets, so transition baskets, getting to the free throw line, getting some offensive boards, and that made a big difference for us in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Yep.